And welcome back once again to Occult Perspectives. It is a beautiful day outside, and it's like the middle of October. So yeah, I'm just enjoying it. Decided I'd go ahead and do a live stream real quick. Much better than just sitting in the house. That's kind of what I was doing the first half of the day, was inside. I didn't realize how nice it was supposed to get. Hello and welcome into the chat. Hope you are doing wonderful. Not even sure what subjects I could cover in this chat. There's always some topic to cover though. There's always plenty to talk about. Just got to get the ball rolling. Just got to get started. Hello and welcome into the chat. Feel free to comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions, any esoteric, occult, spiritual topics you want to talk about, you want me to try and cover if I know anything about it. Tara, what's up? Glad to have you on here. I hope work's going all right. I think you're still at work, aren't you? About to get off though, probably. Till 5. Okay. Nice. Yeah, one more hour. It's always that final hour that seems to take the longest sometimes. I know how that goes. Tara says she's bored. Well, I guess that's better than being stressed out at work, isn't it? So now you're here in the live chat, and we could talk about stuff, and hopefully you won't be as bored. If I wasn't so boring, I don't know what topic I want to talk about. You want to pick a topic I could go on about? Tara says that's very true. Yes, indeed. I see we have 2 people in the chat now. Make sure we're getting the thumbs up if we can. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what's up. Let me know what you all want to hear about. Angel numbers, question mark. Since we were kind of talking about it the other day. Yeah. So angel numbers, rather than just, specifically seeing them as angel numbers, I usually just like to, I study the archetypes of what each number represents. Some people do like numerology and gematria and things of that nature, and you can do that. You can add up what different words mean. But for me, it usually just comes through an intuitive flashing. So a lot of the times I'll see like 3s, 1s, and 7s together. So let's go through, like, let's just talk about the symbology of numbers then. I think that's a good place to start. Because, I mean, if you Google like angel numbers on Google, you're going to get all kinds of stuff. There's going to be all different kinds of interpretations that pop up. So if we study these numbers separately and what their symbolism is, you know, on their own, that way when they're combined and they're together, you know, you can kind of get a better idea of what it means. And then if you want to, you can try to add the numbers together, and then that'll give you your, you know, your numerical value. And there may be some correlation, there may be some synchronicity that pops up there. But number one, obviously, unity. One, everything is one at the end of the day. Symbolized by Kether at the top of the tree of life. You know, unity consciousness, unity awareness. Ultimate source is but one, and we all come from that source. So before there's any division, there's one. Well, before that, there's the primal nothing, the no thing, the ein. But we're not going to get into that right now. It's a whole different subject. 2, the number 2, you've had your first division, you've had your first split. So what was once one, what was once unified, is now experiencing itself through a mirror version or another reflection of itself, so that it can further understand itself. So when you see the number 2, you think duality. Think duality, but duality is not inherently a bad thing. A lot of people will say, oh, well, polarity and duality is bad. It's like, no, that's actually just how you experience this type of reality. If you want to fully embrace and enjoy physical reality, you have to embrace duality. You have to embrace the 2. 2 is better than 1, right? But ultimately it is 1 at the end of the day. So 1 is unity. So if you see like the numbers, let's say you see the angel number 111, that's unity times 3. So think about the magical implication of what unity means, or coming under one awareness, one consciousness, the interconnectedness of all things. And you're writing that 3 times. So that's like a magic spell in and of itself. If you see 222, that just means it's focusing more on the dual aspect of it. It's focusing more on those varied parts, that split. There's 2 of them now. And they can now enjoy each other's, you know, there's 2 of them. They can enjoy each other's company. And through separation, we learn to reunite. And thus in the reunion, the coming back together, the alchemical marriage, we learn of our unity. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes to this. I literally just covered only the numbers 1 and 2 and what they mean. I mean, I could go all the way through number 9. I do have a video that talks specifically about the symbology of numbers, and then, you know, you can take it from there yourself once you've learned the basic symbology of each number and what the combinations of them mean to you. Even when you're driving, you know, I pay attention to what numbers are popping up all the time. What do the numbers on the license plate, you know, in front of you? Maybe it's the numbers on the address of a house. Like, what are those numbers signifying to you? And remember, it's more about what these things mean to you. That's more important than what, you know, some website, you know, is going to tell you that something should be interpreted as. But if it resonates with you and if it makes sense, then, you know, maybe that's what it means for you. Be sure, everyone, thank you for tuning in. I see there are 5 people in the live chat now. Make sure that we're getting a thumbs up in here, all right, if we can. I would really appreciate that. Greetings from Denmark. Anders, how are you? Greetings. I'm glad to have you in here. It's so awesome to have people from all over join in the chat, so I really appreciate you. Yes, Tara, I can definitely send it to you later. Sounds great. So yeah, if you have any questions, anyone, feel free to pop down. We covered numbers 1 and 2, so I could go ahead and cover number 3 as well. We have 3 people in the chat right now, so I see 3 people in the chat and only 1 thumbs up. So Let's make sure we're getting the thumbs up as well. The number 3 is that the Trinity. I mean, that number pops up all the time. And if we're thinking in geometry too, the numbers 1, 2, and 3, the number 1 is going to be your point. The number 2 is going to be a line because it's going to be the line from the first point to the second point. When you've created a third dot or a third point, what shape do you now have? You now have a triangle. The triangle is the shape of manifestation. The 3 is the Trinity. The Trinity of, whatever religion or whatever spiritual background. There's various ways that the Trinity is understood. There's you have the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, Osiris, Isis, and Horus. What's the Eastern ones? Vishnu, Brahma, and I'm really bad with the Eastern religions and stuff. I'm not nearly as well versed on that stuff as I am like the Western esoteric stuff. I know Egyptian really well. I know my angels really well, but when it comes to like Eastern type stuff, Eastern philosophies, I get kind of lost. I know that like Kali, she's kind of like has a lot of Lilith type energy, very dark feminine goddess type energy going on, very harsh energy. But it's not bad, it's not evil. It's just that archetype of creation. You have to have destruction for creation to even take place. Gosh, it is so nice out here today. I think it's like 78 degrees right now or something, which is really crazy because it's October. But that up and down of temperature has really been kind of messing with my sinuses a bit lately. So I would like it to stay a more consistent temperature, which it's going to come because, winter's on its way right now. Let me know, everyone, too, if let me know if the live stream cuts out or anything, because my friend Tara, she's been in the live stream, but she's saying that it's kind of having some troubles. So let me know if it keeps on my end of things. It seems to be running smoothly, but I don't really know for the rest of you. So let me know if you can. I really could have worn shorts out here too. I've got like some longer pants on. It's actually pretty warm. I feel like I should have went on a run today. If it's gonna be like this tomorrow, I'm about to go on a run tomorrow. Maybe even tonight, shit, who knows? Endless possibilities. I just did a video about new doors, opening new doorways. Having the courage, having the bravery, having the excitement, that inner child excitement to want to experience new things, So, I see we have 3 people in the chat. We've got 2 thumbs up, so make sure we're getting the thumbs up. What's going on in here? Just taking a walk, taking a stroll. It's very nice outside. I figured this would be a great opportunity to do a live stream. Been doing them quite a bit lately. I always enjoy them. Anders says, any thoughts on inner child work? That's really weird and synchronistic that you mentioned that. That's actually really cool you mentioned that, because I actually just did a video I recorded it probably about 40 minutes ago. I haven't posted it to the YouTube channel yet. I will do so tonight after I end this live stream. It takes the live streams a while, I think, to be able to play sometimes, depending on where you search for them. But anyway, yes, to get to the inner child, I did a little bit of inner child work this morning. I normally, when I wake up, I get my coffee, and I was gonna jump straight on the video games. I've been playing Elden Ring a lot, and you know what? I was like, no, I really have this intuition and this guidance to really kind of just go into my memories, go into my core wounds. So I pretty much just communicated. I sat and emptied my mind. It just got really relaxed. I don't think I played any tones or anything. I don't think there was any music. Because normally I play some kind of background noise when I'm doing meditations, but I didn't do that today. I literally just sat and kind of had communion with myself. I allowed, there were a couple entities I called upon. Also the archangels, that I work with and, are help guiding me on my high path. All of these different things, spirit guides, ancestors, my father as well. All of these different influences, I kind of just had them there with me and assisting me through this process of just going within. And I was really pretty much just communicating out loud to myself, to my inner child. I was speaking directly to my inner child. I didn't know how I was going to do this. It was all intuitive. So I'm going into these memories, these core wounds. I started from the time I was about 20 years old this time. Usually when I was doing these inner child exercises, I originally started at a younger age. So I started from when I was first born and worked my way up. But I started from 20 years old today, communicating with my past self, telling myself, you are loved, everything is going to be okay. And really helping to converge the timelines so that they're all, being aligning in one single timeline. That way I'm not, what's the word I'm looking for? That way I'm not fragmented all over the place. I'm finally kind of trying to work and pull the pieces back together and communicate to myself in the past and let myself, assure myself that everything's going to be okay. This is what's going to happen, but you're going to be all right because it's going to make you stronger. Just all of these different sorts of things. However this process intuitively, intuitionally plays itself out for you, that's how you want to do it. You just go with the flow. And I was really able to hit a core. I don't know what I did, but I opened up something this morning and I cried. I cried so much. I was able to just pour so much emotion out because I was really going into all the things that made me the most sad, that had made me the most sad probably over the past 10 years, all the hard shit. And I told myself it was okay. I'm communicating to you from the future, but I am you and you are me and everything's going to be all right. All of this plays a purpose. All of it has a reason. There's no good, there's no bad to this. It just is what it is. And as hurtful as it seems, it's going to bring blessings. There's a purpose to all this. So, that's not exactly how it went down, but it's pretty close. So I hope that kind of answers your question on the whole inner child work. That's how I've been doing inner child work anyway. And I only did it for about 30 minutes. It was like a 30-minute long thing I did this morning. But honestly, it was so powerful. And I had such a release of emotions that I've actually just been processing it all day long. I've literally just kind of let myself kind of sit with it, to a degree. I didn't really do any other meditations today. I didn't do any exercises because I didn't really feel called to. I felt more called to do that. And then really just, learning to love yourself, learning to love my own self, in that process and come to terms and to come to acceptance with a lot of things. And that way I'm embracing my inner darkness, I'm embracing my shadow, rather than trying to resist it. Becoming one with the unconscious or the subconscious. And that way it's not something you have to fight. There's no enemy out there. There's no devil that wants to snare your soul. It's like you are the devil, but you're also God. The tree of life and the tree of death, it all exists within you. You are the chosen one of your own reality. You shift and merge into various worlds. You are always shifting dimensions. We are vibrating into the density of experience that we're meant to. And we can do that through our own will, our own willpower. We can change things, we can change timelines, we can reshape, we can reshift reality. We can be the architects. We can be the architects of our own realities. So I hope that answers your question, Anders. So anyway, I think inner child work and shadow works, it's incredibly healing stuff. It really is. And I think it's essential because you want to get the proper energetic resonance for yourself. You want your energy to be at a point where the emotions and the feelings behind everything you do are truly who you are and truly authentic. It's not coming from a place of fear. It's not coming from that place of abandonment. I mean, you can feel those emotions and you should, lean into it and recognize those emotions for what they are, but you want to work through them. You want to process them. You don't want to come from a hurt place. You want to have accepted your hurt and your pain and love it for what it is, rather than trying to bury it. And in that way, I think that's what transforms people and turns them into the strongest versions of themselves that they could ever possibly be. I hope with the wind too, you can hear my voice all right. I'm trying to speak as loud as I can without yelling really or anything. So, yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to go all the way around today, but I guess maybe I will do the whole loop today. It's 4:22 right now. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably be done with this walk in another 30 minutes, I would say. Should have worn tennis shoes though. I keep going on these walks and wearing flip-flops. Anders says, definitely makes sense. I have a lot of negative self-talk, and I'm trying to tune more to my intuition and inner child. I really like that. That's really cool, and I think you're doing the right thing, because that's what I've been trying to do as well. I've been a lot better with my negative self-talk lately, but I tell you what, the past 6 months, I don't know about you, but the past 6 months of my life have been the hardest 6 months or so that I've ever experienced as far as emotions and things of that nature. I was having so much negative self-talk that I was actually talking myself, into some very, 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 very dark places. I think I've experienced more Qliphothic type energies. I'm not an initiate of the Qliphoth. That's not what I'm claiming. I have not taken that initiatic journey. It's different when you consciously are, you're actually consciously and purposefully initiating through those spheres. And it's a different story when you're just experiencing those spheres. So, both are very profound, but one is very different from the other. And I think lately I've just been experiencing a lot of the darker tree aspects of reality, is what it seems like, which has made me tougher. It's actually broken me open and allowed me to see who I really am, and also seeing where I was avoiding parts of myself before, where I was looking the other way, and it's like, I'm just gonna do what seems comfortable right now. But it seems like the more I tried to do that, the more I tried to run away from my true self And I'm still working on it. I'm not perfect. There's certain things there's certain kinks I still have to work out and stuff, you know, with my own character and with my own nature. That way I can be more in energetic alignment with who I'm meant to be. But I've dealt with so much anger and so much sadness and so much rage in the past 6 months. I was even starting to question, like, am I even a good person anymore? I'm like, I feel like I'm just not even, felt like a complete, almost asshole sometimes. So, no, I totally get where you're getting with the negative self-talk, because I was dealing with the exact same thing for such a long time. And it would get really, really bad. And then you just kind of get yourself into a spot where you feel like you're stuck in that regard. And then you don't feel motivated to do anything. So the self-talk it's not really a good thing. But you do also want to be able to be honest with where you are emotionally, instead of like lying and just being like the fake happy, like, yeah, everyone, it's positive vibes all the time. Yeah, because I've been around that a lot of the times. I've been around people that are extremely fucking hurt people that are not doing the shadow work. They are not doing the work. And they're running away. They're running away from it. And it shows. It shows in their realities, because nothing's working out for them. See, a lot of the times karma will just kind of take care of things itself. You don't necessarily have to really even like try to get in there and enforce anything or control anything, because things are going to move to where they're meant to move to. There's a process to all this, and the more you go into your true self, the more you follow your heart. And if you know something's not right, you know, you have to be honest with that. You have to be honest with that. Melix, what's up, dude? Melix says, hello, bro. I watched Smile 2, and it was one of the best psychological movies I have ever seen. I'm gonna have to check that out. Left me shaken inside, and I am still affected by it, but I like it. Wow. So it's called Smile 2? I don't know that, I don't think I've ever heard of a movie called Smile. Is there a movie before that? Is that a sequel? This is an interesting side note too, just because you mentioned the title of that movie. Did you know that the band Queen, which Queen is probably my favorite band. They're definitely in my top 3, for sure. But they were originally called Smile, actually, before they were Queen, and their logo was just like a big smile. I thought that was kind of, I don't know why I thought of that. I guess just because you said the title Smile, it made me think of that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Smile 2. I will keep that in mind, brother. Thank you. Because if it had that much of a profound effect on you, I'm sure it would me too. I would like to check that out. I see that we have 6 people in the live chat now, so make sure that we are please getting a thumbs up in here. That'll definitely help with the growth of the channel and whatnot. Florida woman. Jamie Lynn says, hello, beautiful fellow human beings. Hello, how are you? It's good to have you in here. So you're from Florida, I am from Ohio, so it's like 77 or 78 degrees here right now, I think. It's actually really warm for Ohio in October. How warm is it in Florida right now, if you don't mind me asking? Tara Bowen says, is it a horror movie? Melik says, yes. Florida woman says, right on, man. Wild. Tara Bowen says, I'm pretty sure I've seen the first one. Cool. You're gonna have to show that to me then. Melik Taku says, something synchronistic happened as well. Oh yeah? You had another cool synchronicity happen? You're gonna have to let me know, brother. All right, give me a moment to cross the street here, everybody. Got to obey the traffic laws and whatnot. Plus, I just don't want to get hit over by a car. So. Gosh, it is so beautiful outside, though. I like Creedence Clearwater Revival. Their music makes fishing feel elite. Ha! That's cool. I like CCR. They're pretty cool. They have a lot of good songs. I've played in a lot of different bands, so I've definitely covered some of their material before. They're definitely fun. Looking out my back door. That was the one we used to do. I sing, but I've never tried to sing a CCR song before. I'm more of like a ballad type singer, and I'm really good at like pop type stuff. When it comes to vocals, I can do like Backstreet Boys. When I play drums, I can play almost any genre though. I'm a much better drummer than I am singer in my opinion. But I have gotten a lot better at singing over the years. I feel like I have a really unique voice. Really learned to like what my style of singing is, what my voice is, and how to hit some of the higher and stronger notes. Florida woman says it's already chilly for me. Tara says I love CCR. Melik says this movie is about a pop star slowing defending into madness by a trauma entity, part 1. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, you see that with a lot of like pop artists and people in the music industry. Even Ariana Grande, she's got a song about demons or something. They all deal with that type of shit because what we're starting to learn about with the whole P. Diddy stuff, like what goes on at these parties and the sexual abuse and things of that nature that take place within them. It's really crazy. And people get traumatized. And yeah, they're definitely going to have entity attachments of some kind, which is really just like projections of their own shadow, like coming forth to make them face certain things. That way they can work through it. That way they can get out and break free and get back into their authentic, true self. That's kind of the way I would interpret that. Just had a bug fly on me. Florida woman, I want to subscribe, but I was already subscribed. That's funny. Melik says, well, I make music, so the movie was personal to me. Part 2. Very cool. You make music? What kind of music do you make, dude? Did you tell me that before? I can't remember. Music's been a part of my life, my entire life. Grew up listening to all kinds of good music, and then I've played in bands. I've played in live bands for like over a decade. I've probably played close to 150 shows at least. In various groups, whether that be really small bars or bigger music festivals or like street festivals. I've done a lot of it. I've been a lot of different places. I haven't traveled out that far to play music, but just in the surrounding states, there's so many interesting places to go. I've been to some places that are really like kind of like Garden of Eden on Earth, type places. The hippie community and stuff. It gets really interesting. You see the beautiful side of things out there, but then you also start to see the side of things, which is why I stepped away from that music scene, where there's a lot of people running away from their own shadows. It's a lot of people, they're just not embracing their true, authentic self, and they're running from something. And it kind of gives them a place to go do that. And it's not a bad thing. It's not evil. That's not what I'm saying. But for anyone who's like really trying to walk a true spiritual path, like those aren't the kind of people you're wanting to surround yourself with. You don't want to get sucked into their morphogenic field because they're using a lot of different substances and, going to all these festivals constantly. to try and like subdue the things that they're needing to deal with, if that makes sense. They don't want to create that solid foundation. It's not about that for them. So, but it is what it is. Florida woman. Jamie Lynn says, heck yes, I play a little guitar, but I suck. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I play a little bit of acoustic guitar. I only know about like 9 chords, but I can play like 100 different songs and sing. Like I sing and play guitar, but yeah, I don't know much on the guitar. Just enough as like kind of a tool to help assist me in my singing. So if you check out my music playlist here on this YouTube channel, I have plenty of music that I posted. And then if you go to the bottom of my homepage of the YouTube page, you will see a link for my old YouTube channel, which I believe is called Tyler. I think it's just called Tyler Smith. So pretty lame name for a channel. It's not that big of a YouTube channel. So it's because I never really put that much time and effort into it. There's quite a few videos on it though. I posted like 100 different videos, but it was basically a place that I would just put post my covers to, and most of my covers I would put on Facebook. But I actually lost my old account, and that really sucked because I lost all kinds of awesome music that was attached to that. Descending. Oh, I see. This movie is about a pop star slowly descending into madness by a trauma entity. Interesting. Okay, so the synchronicity for Melik was my house's power got cut out, but I interpreted it for me being forced to look into my unconscious for things that I don't even know about on a conscious level. Yes, exactly. Things like that. Like, most people would freak out and they'd be like, ah! And I'm like, it's like, no, you have to stop and take a second and say, wait a minute. What is the deeper message of this? Like, what is it actually really trying to tell me? You know? So that's awesome that you kind of just, you looked into it a little bit further. And I know you, dude, you're fucking smart, man. You're on the path, dude. You're doing the real work. So I'm proud of you, dude. And now I am coming up with new ideas music-wise. Heck yeah. Tara says my phone is gonna die. Crying face. I'm sorry, Tara. Well, you only have about what? You got about 20 more minutes of work, and then that's it, right? You get to go home, and hopefully you'll get an opportunity to charge your battery and all that stuff, and it'll all be good. But I hope the rest of work goes extremely quick for you. Melik says I make all kinds of rap and sing. I can't really define my genre. Well, that's awesome. Do you have anything? Did you take your videos off of your YouTube channel? Because the last time I checked out your YouTube channel, you didn't have any of your videos posted. But if you have somewhere that your music's posted, I would definitely really like to go and check that out. But that's kind of cool that you don't have like a specific genre, and that's the thing. I think a lot of musicians, they get caught up on like labels and stuff way too much. So the fact that you're able to just like be creative with it and stuff is really cool. Just make it yours. Just do what flows through naturally, you know. Don't try to put your music and your work into a box. If that's your name, that isn't lame. Well, thank you. Thank you. I thought for some reason that YouTube channel was called Drummer Boy Smith 2010 though, but it's actually just my name. Pretty sure it's Tyler Smith, because that's my email that I use. It's an old email at this point, obviously. You can tell I made that name up from when I was like in high school. Drummer Boy Smith 2010. That's my graduation year. But yeah, drumming's always been a thing. I was I was in band from 5th grade. I did the whole high school marching band thing. That was fucking awesome. I'm still good friends with my band director that I had in high school. We've been in bands together and stuff, like rock bands. We've done rock concerts, festivals, the whole 9 yards. It's been extremely awesome and fun. So yeah, I've had some really neat musical experiences. I would really like to get back into music soon, and I know that that's going to naturally come back to me. I've been focusing more on other things right now, working on grounding, just getting everything back in order. So Melik says, I may release some soon if I create more songs. Heck yeah. I would love to see that. Would love to. And Melik says, I appreciate it, bro. You're very welcome. Florida woman says, heck yes, Melik. Sweet. Yeah, music's awesome. Music transforms lives, and it's really it's one of the most powerful ways to channel energy and such. So it's a great outlet. And I can't wait to get back get more back into it. So it's just not, I just know it's not going to be the same people as much that I was getting involved into music with originally, just because I'm going in such a different direction in my life. A lot of those influences, they're just, I don't know. It's not that there's anything wrong with it, but the direction they're going, it's just not in resonance with me anymore. That's really, I guess, all I have to say about that. Tara says, I'm hiding so I can't charge my phone now. I'm sorry to hear that. Me too, thank you, she says. Well, I will be ready and waiting to hear back from you whenever you are, all charged up and ready to go. No worries on that end. Melik says, hell yeah, Jamie Lynn. I took off my videos because they didn't represent my current state of consciousness. I like that. I've almost thought about going back into some of my old videos and removing them, but then I was like, no, you know what? I'll just leave them there because it'll show me and it'll show other people of, how I've transformed, how I've metamorphosized into the current version of myself. So I think it's kind of key to, for me anyway, to leave those videos up just so I can have that contrast, that comparison. I think you only had like a few up though, didn't you? Like 3 or 4, maybe? Maybe you had a little bit more than that. I checked out 1 or 2 of them. I meant to check all of them out, but I think they were gone. But you're going through some intense initiations right now, so I think once you're done with your Qliphothic initiations, there's some final stages to that I've heard about. Like you have probably the apocalypse stage of that to go through now. I know you're getting near that point, and I don't know how those final phases go. But yeah, once you're quote unquote completed with your process, I know it's always an ongoing thing, but once you get finished with that, I think that'll be a really good foundational space to like start posting videos again if you feel like doing that. Because then you'll be this whole new being. You'll have this whole new fresh start. And it'll be really powerful when you do go to create content. Florida woman says, marching band music is so legit. Listen to a lot of marching band covers. Awesome. Drums are where it's at because it goes right to the heart. Exactly. The drums are like the heartbeat of the whole band. Especially the bass drums. You got the lower spectrum of sound there. But yeah, like drums and bass guitar, that's like the root chakra of the band, right? Then you move up and like vocals are like, would be more like the crown chakra type energy. The guitar is going to be more like, you get what I'm saying though. It's not exactly like that, but in a sense it kind of is. So, but yeah, it's always those, the foundational blocks to the band are definitely like the drums and the bass. and then everything else is built on top of that, right? So it's all about always getting back to foundation. And my favorite color is red, and I think there's something very deep to that. So I think it represents that it's all about that foundation, that primal. Red's a very primal, raw color. Sexuality can be equated with red. Fiery zeal, passion, lust. So we've been talking about the Scarlet Woman a lot too. Well, I haven't been talking about it a lot, but I've been experiencing it some, and I've actually wanted to do more research and take more notes before I maybe do a video on the topic of the Scarlet Woman. If any of you have not checked out Jeremiah at Universal Mastery, I highly recommend you do so. He's like the only person that's really talking about the Scarlet Woman to any advanced degree that I know of. Curtis Joseph might have a video on the Scarlet Woman. I know he does a spirit series where he covers like all the angels and the demons. His channel's very good too. He's got some great shit. He actually posted a really awesome video today, actually. But yeah, marching band's the shit. I loved band camp. Band camp was so fun. I wish I could go back and re-experience band camp with the awareness that I have now. I'd get in so much trouble. I'd be so much trouble there. Oh my gosh. But it is fun to think about stuff like that. It really is. The marching band version of Rolling in the Deep sounds like an old 70s show theme song. That's awesome. So sick. Wish there was more marching band shows. For sure. I think marching band's kind of underrated. It's always the football teams and shit that take the spotlight, but I think marching band should have more focus surrounding it, you know? Rolling in the Deep is a badass song. That's a hard song to sing. Adele, right? Rolling in the deep, you had my heart and soul in your hands, but you played it to the beat. There's a fire burning in my heart. Something like that. I don't know. It's a cool song though. I'll never forget, like the first time I heard that song on like some really good speakers, I think it was like prom or something. And I'm like, damn, this is a good song. My favorite song by Adele is, what's it called? It's about something about the rain. Fire, something about, gosh. I'm trying to think what that song is called. It's on the first album, though. I'm sure I'll think of it. Fire to the Rain? Is that what it's called? That's it. I think that's it. Melik says, music is an energetic transference from artist to listener. So imagine all of those A-listers and what they are doing to the collective. Exactly. I can tell you what they're pumping into the mass collective, a bunch of confusion. But this represents an opportunity, right? For people to see the contrast, for people to see what's not reflective of their true self. So that way they can actually work on figuring out who they really are through that adversity, through all the false messages, that these, the music can bring. You can learn to differentiate, what's real and what's not. And use discernment. Learning to use discernment is so important. So I think I've got about 20 more minutes of my walk because I'm just walking the big square around where I live. So I'd say it's like almost a 3-mile walk. Maybe not quite, but pretty close. So. Tara Bowen says, our high school band was always so good. That's awesome. Are you talking about when you went to London? London's high school band? I thought band was really good. I mean, we went to state when it was my senior year of high school, and we hadn't been to state in like 4 years. So I think the band, I don't know how strong the band was after I left, because I don't know if you know Mr. Lewis. That was our band director. So he's an awesome dude. He's a really great guy. He's a great keyboard player. We've played some shows and stuff together. We're really close friends. He's actually like super part of my inner circle of friends. But I forget who it was that was director after he left. Was it Weagle? Was it her and like her husband Brent? I'm not sure. It's funny because Brent was like a senior. He was like a senior when I was like a sophomore or something. And then she was a band director, and then they ended up dating. It's funny. Melik retracted 2 messages. He's trying to keep secrets from us. Just kidding, brother. Florida woman, Jamie Lynn says, never thought about it like that. I'll be thinking about that for a while, honestly. Yeah, what Melik was saying, yep. It brings a whole new depth to understanding when you're talking about music and stuff. I see we have 5 people in the live chat. If you have not already smashed the thumbs up button, make sure you go ahead and do that real quick. Set fire to the rain. Yes, that's it. I love that song. That's my favorite Adele song. Florida woman. Spending time alone is soul enriching. That and talking to strangers or people that one may deem as opposites. Yes, spending time alone is like crucial and key. You have to sit, you have to process emotions. You have to put your phone away. You have to put distractions away. You need time to sit with the self. We're always so focused consciously on everything. Our consciousness, our awareness is always projected outwards, and we need to like sit back and reflect and be more magnetic with the energy and start to pull in energy and start to be a little bit, just kind of almost lean into and be more receptive in a lot of ways to new things and to new ways of being and ideas, instead of always trying to like seek for things out there. It's like, focus on the treasure that exists within the self, because that's so important. And like you said, it's so soul enriching. And talking to strangers or people that one may deem as opposites, yeah, everyone that you are perceiving in quote unquote your outer reality or your outer reflection, they represent different aspects and various parts of yourself. So they are there to teach you things about yourself, most definitely, even if it's seemingly quote unquote opposites. Because remember, everything's just different degrees of manifestation or existence. So they are fulfilling the archetypal roles that you're not fulfilling. All roles, all archetypes pretty much have to be fulfilled in some capacity. The positive and the negative polarities, they have to kind of balance each other out in an equation type manner. That's just how it works. So someone may seem really opposite. They may seem to have totally different characteristics, but what you're going to find is there's some commonality there. There's some truth. There's some magnetic force which is pulling them into your experience, even if it's just for a brief moment at the store or something, like the grocery store. So just pay attention to those synchronicities. And here's a positive sign right here, literally. Here, I'm going to turn this around. The Burger King right here has a sign that says, "You rule." See it? That's pretty cool. You are the ruler. You are the queen or the king of your own kingdom. Inherit thy kingdom. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, right? Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. What does that mean, though? It doesn't just mean do whatever you want to do on the whim of the moment. It means do what your soul's purpose, your deepest, truest aspect of yourself is do the thing that is telling you to do. Get in touch with that. Tara Bowen says, yes. Exclamation mark. Melik says, my main goal though is to move into music business. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, brother, man. Be careful though, because you and I both know what kind of people are out there. But we also both know that you're tough and you're not going to put up with any shit either. So you know what the signs are. Find people who are in energetic resonance to do amazing things, you know, accomplish amazing things with you. Because music is something you can do a lot on your own as an individual. But what I've come to find out is it takes a team of people. It takes a team of like sound engineers and sound people and all these different things working together to make the whole thing work. That's why rather than like me starting from scratch as a musician, which I could see myself being like a solo performer and doing singing and like some guitar and stuff with a little bit of drumming. But if I were to join a band that already has their, you know, that they've already built the foundation, they already have the business going, the enterprise is successful, and I just join on as a drummer that's exceedingly, you know, talented and good at what I can do, and then I can bring that to the table. I would really like to be a part of something like that too, but I'd really have to make sure that I get along with the people in the band, that I really believe in what the music's about. I really believe in what the magic of it is producing. You know what I mean? So if you're doing music, you know, you just got to make sure you're following your heart and don't fall into the soul trappings of, you know, the major music industry, because I think it's a hellhole. I think there's just so much like false elitism around the music of the main music scene. I think there's so many fucking talented musicians out there that can, you know, they can run circles around me, like, and they're better than these mainstream artists too. But like they'd never get the recognition because they're not making those deals with the really corrupt people, which is for the best, because they probably had the intuition, they had the inner knowingness and the guidance to know, you know, not to go down that path. So good for them. Good for them, in my opinion. Melik says, I want to change the industry. Fuck yeah, there you go. Yep, exactly. Tara Bowen says, I think they went to state every year. Yeah, it's funny you mention that, because I think it got easier. I'm sorry if this sounds mean, but I think the standards to get to state were like, they were lessened after we made it that last year. Because I swear, every show we performed at state, we did a damn good job, like at a lot of those performances. But it wasn't until that final year that we actually did make it to state. And I think after that, it was a little bit easier to make it to state, if that makes sense. So I think you guys were able to carry the energetic, you know, I guess you were able to carry the torch on after that. So I am proud of the band, you know, after we left. But yeah, it did take a lot of work to get to that point. And I think they did make it a little bit easier to get to state, but I could be wrong too. So I'm not trying to downplay anybody at all, but that's awesome. I'm glad they went to state like every year afterwards. I'm pretty sure, she says. I know the band was better than the football team, and yes, her and her husband. Yeah, yep, Wetzel. Yeah, Brent, it's funny because she was the assistant band director, and I think Brent was, he was like a senior when I was a sophomore, so she was his teacher. So it's kind of funny. I'm glad they're married and they're happy and they're a couple now, and they've got beautiful children and stuff. I think they've got it going on really good. So I'm really thankful for that for them. But it is just kind of funny too that I saw him as like her student or whatever. He's a good dude though. I went to a music program in Cedarville. It was like a weekend thing, but it's a super Christian college, and they're a really good college for music, but it's super Christian, and I couldn't do it anymore. I don't really resonate with those types of people, the super religious types. So it's just because once you start studying real spirituality and the occult, it's like you just know too much about the reality of things, and it's really hard to start talking to those kinds of people. I'm always down to talk to like open-minded Christians, though. I think it creates some really good conversations. And me and my buddy Christian, we actually used to talk to the Mormon sisters at the Mormon church here in town, a couple of different Mormon sisters. And they actually were very curious about what we had to say about like the Anunnaki. And we were telling them about, a lot of different esoteric things. It would be very interesting today to try and talk to them about like Lucifer and things of that nature. I've thought about talking to them once, but I'm like, nah, I just don't think that's a useful use of my time, to try and talk to the Mormon sisters and elders about Lucifer and different spirits and what the true nature of angels are. And yeah, we could go on and on, but the Mormon lore is definitely interesting. The whole story about how like Joseph Smith and his father, they found the golden plates that, the angel Moroni dug in the ground. They put the plates there, and it talks about Jesus's experiences in the Americas. Like it's very interesting stuff. I don't know, how much of it's legit, but it's interesting because the Mormons too, they see Jesus as the same being as Archangel Michael. Like those two are the same. Archangel Gabriel and Noah of Noah's flood are the same being. So you've got all these different interesting, correlations between different biblical characters and the angels that they also are. And we also know that, like, of course, Enoch is Metatron, all that type of stuff. So I've got about 10 to 15 more minutes on my walk. I don't even have that much longer. It's going to be shorter than that before I get home. So make sure if there's any questions that you really want answered, make sure you pop down below and comment those questions, because we're not going to be streaming for that much longer. So all right, what else do we have? Melik says, but I am better off as a backbone. Foundation, stability. Tara Bowen says, I'm at 4%. I'll talk to you once I get home after work. Sounds good. Be safe going home. I hope the rest of, it's 5 o'clock now, so you should be off work now, right? Florida woman says, we all view this diamond of existence from different facets. Exactly. So important to get larger pictures and see the same diamond from as many sides as possible. Exactly. Melik says, yes, man, I will use my discernment and will be ruthless when it comes to people with ill intent. Hell yeah, there you go. You can embody that Lilith energy yourself, right? I will have to be very strategic without sacrificing anything authentic. Most certainly. And I'm sure you've seen Jeremiah's videos that he's been posting lately about the P. Diddy stuff. So I started watching that a little bit. I thought that was really interesting. And he also was sharing a video about, who's that guy, like Dougie or whatever, that's been posting videos about. I saw his videos like 6 months or so ago, him posting about those Hollywood parties. Like, it's fucking crazy, all the shit that's coming out. Like, I kind of knew about this stuff, like even like a decade ago. I've kind of known a little bit about it, but I didn't know that it was, I guess that it was quite as crazy. I mean, I guess I did know. I knew deep down that it was that crazy. I didn't think that Justin Bieber would actually be going through all that shit that he went through, though. I didn't think that would be that bad. But now we all know, right? So it's crazy. If any of you have ever seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise, it kind of goes into that whole Hollywood party theme type thing. So I definitely recommend you go and make sure you go and check that out. So I'm glad I got out of the house and went on a walk for a little bit. It really helps to get out and like move around and stretch, especially for me and like my pelvic muscles and stuff. I need to stay moving. So sometimes it's not always the best to go running all the time, because it's kind of hard on the bones and stuff, especially if you're running on like the sidewalk. It's much healthier to run in the grass if you can. But yeah, sometimes it's much better for me to just walk. So, but I do want to go on a run. If it's like this tomorrow, I might definitely go on a run. Melik says, yes, oh my days, you picked up on Lilith's ruthlessness. Yep. Yep. She's the harsh mother, most definitely. But she wants you to be better. Well, it's not just one entity, it's like a more of a social memory complex kind of deal. It's a higher divine intelligent force, which is making itself known here through various archetypes. And the dark mother, that darker feminine goddess type energy, the demon queen, those are all archetypal reflections of that type of energy. It's showing what that social memory complex represents from a visual or symbolic standpoint. So the story of Lilith in the Garden of Eden is really just the story to help you understand what it means archetypally. These myths and legends, they aren't like literally true. Although there are events that took place on Earth which would seem probably even stranger than the myths that we read about. That's what's funny. Because I think the whole thing, like reality, is actually way crazier than the myths. This is the thing I learned from my Qliphothic initiations. Nice. That's a confirmation that I have been learning real deal stuff. Yes. Yes, exactly. A group of minds, intelligences with a collective agenda. Yep. Exactly. And to me, what that agenda would represent is really just forcing humans to really face who and what they really are. Especially in their most primal, darkest aspects and stages of self. It's like a very real type of darkness. Primal. There's a lot of primal sexual type energy that exists there. Because I have had that energy channel through me before. I have not worked extensively with Lilith's energy, but I've worked enough with it. I've definitely experienced some interesting things, and I've thought about doing a video on that. Yeah, it's gotten really intense. It's gotten really intense a couple times. Those energies are very, very harsh. I will say that. But they teach you a lot. They really do teach you a lot. So yeah, everyone, I see there are only 2 people in the chat currently. I'm actually about to get back home here in just a minute. So I will not be on the live stream much longer. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment them down below. Melik says, I am going through initiations of the void currently with Tiamat. Yeah, Tiamat is, that's one of those ancient primordial feminine goddesses, isn't it? Kind of like one of the origin stories of the Sumerians, if I remember right. That's why I have been going through what I have been through in a significant way. Awesome. I mean, I don't know if the process is all, completely awesome for you, but hopefully it is revealing things to you, that you need to learn. Void initiations, says Melik. Sorry, just repeated myself. No worries there, brother. You're good. So, all right, we are making it back to the house now. Hi, Jojo. I'm gonna set the phone down for just a moment here. All right. Mr. Kitty. Ooh. All right, we have 5 people in the live chat now. I've just got back from my walk, so I don't know how much longer. I'm probably not going to stream this much longer. It's crazy. It's already like 5 o'clock. Jeez. I feel like this day's just gone right by. So I'll wait here a couple minutes, see if anybody's got any last questions they want to ask. Here's Mr. Xavier. Say hi, Mr. Xavier. Say hello. I just got him some flea stuff today because he's got fleas really bad. But he just had flea treatment like a week ago. That frontline flea stuff, if anybody has pets, I recommend you don't get frontline because it's so main brand or mainstream brand that what's happening is the fleas are basically evolving and resisting the treatment. So I got some off-brand stuff today. So next time his treatment comes around, I'll be able to apply that to him, and hopefully that will help a lot more. Oh my, that is a gorgeous kitty. Isn't he gorgeous? He's a pretty kitty. He's getting he's getting a bit older. He's like 14 now or so. Aren't you, Bubby? Yeah, pretty kitty. He's always been a really pretty kitty. Bella, you gonna come over here? There's Bella over there. Say hi, Bella. She's really shy. I mean, she loves to be loved on, but she's just so funny about it. She's so shy and so skittish. She's always been that way. And I think the reason she is that way is I don't know if she was abused like when she was like a really, really small kitten or not, but my friend found her outside, like she was almost dead, and they brought her in, and he was allergic to cats, so he wasn't able to keep her. It was a guy I used to be in a rock band with, and we didn't really plan on getting another cat, but we ended up taking her in anyway because we know that she needed somewhere. So Bella's been part of the family now too for probably about 13 years or so. So I think Xavier's about 14. She's probably 12 or 13. Melik says, did you know that at least in the UK, 74% of the music industry is independent? Is it really? I did not know that. That's really cool. Heck yeah. So it's probably just like mostly over here in America, I guess, where it's probably really corrupt. Which is funny because, America is supposed to be, getting away from the tyranny of the king and the queen and, the forces like that are overly tyrannical, and we've kind of create the same problem for ourselves again in some ways, it seems like. So, but I am thankful too because I know there are many places in the world Hope you're doing extremely well, my friend. I'm actually not going to be on here much longer. I'm about to end this live stream because we went on a really long walk. It's probably about 3 miles or so. Did the square, and now we've come back around. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, make sure we get those down there right away. That way I can address those, and then I will go ahead and end this live stream. because I do have an old friend that's actually coming over. He has, interestingly enough, he found a plate and he didn't know what it was. He just knew it was a Masonic plate, but it has a Templar cross on it. And I'm not a Templar. I've joined Scottish Rite, but I haven't joined York Rite. But I still think it's a super interesting plate. And I told him, bring it on by. Heck yeah, I'll take it. So very cool. Florida woman says, my cat is so odd. I love her. Her name is Itkin Egis Egas Snag. Very interesting. That is that's one of the most unique names I've ever heard of. Oop, think you went on mute. Can you still hear me? Oh, audio's back. Must have been my phone. Oops. Very cool. So yeah, everyone, if you can, if you have not already, make sure we get the thumbs up in here. And I am probably just going to go ahead and end the stream now, and go ahead and contact my friend back, and yeah, and get to it. As a funny side note, you guys are probably gonna think this is so stupid. Maybe it'll make you laugh hilariously, I don't know. But he was reminding me of a memory. He was messaging me the other day, this friend of mine. We used to hang out like 15 years ago. I mean, we're talking back when I'm like a sophomore, freshman in high school. It's been a long, long time. So there were a lot of memories that were repressed. I can't remember all those memories, but there was one day that we got out the slingshot and we started shooting dog turds at the boats that were going by on the lake, because we lived at this lake. And I don't know, I just cracked up as soon as he told me that, because I'd forgotten about that, and then I remembered it. Like, we were ridiculous little kids. I think we've come a long way since then. And there was one of the boats, like, the guy stopped and he said, like, what are you guys doing? Like, we're flinging shit at boats. So anyway, I'll leave the video on the I'll leave the video on that note, on that lighthearted note. So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for tuning into the chat today. It's been another really great live stream. So I do appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you go and check out my channel if you want to. Go and watch some videos. I've been trying to work on my watch time for my YouTube channel. That way I can start monetizing a little bit from the YouTube channel. I have made some money from the Patreon. So if you're interested in the things I talk about on here, make sure you go and check out my Patreon as well. The lowest tier is only $5 to get that material. So make sure you take advantage of that. And with that being said, Florida woman says, happy trails, mate. Thanks for taking us on a walk. Hope y'all's day is full of that golden glory. Thank you very much, Florida woman. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here in the chat, each and every one of you. This has been fun, and we will do this again soon. So, I know, Bobby. I know. We're almost done. We're almost done. Poor fleas. Can't wait to get that new medicine on you, huh? Hopefully that one works much better than the rest. And then with the cold and stuff coming this winter, it should kill most of the fleas out there once the grass starts to, frost and stuff like that. So peace and blessings, everyone. And until next time, take care.